Hello.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
we are now we are going to start our keynote session on basic introduction of IoT and its application by our eminent research person, Ritesh Kumar sir, technical head, Ducat, India, Noida. Now I'm going to tell some brief introduction about our speaker. He is working as a data science Python learning IoT trainer, working with Aptron Solutions Private Limited as IoT Python on with more 2015 to March 2018 as IoT and data analytics. From May 2011 to April 2015, work with Ritusha Consultancy Private Limited, Noida as embedded trainer. He is skilled in carrying out statistical and predictive and practices. Well works with implementation of statistical concept using MS Excel, R, and Python, IoT, and ML. He is conversant with with tools like CVAVR, AVR Studio, MATLAB, Ideal, R Studio, Python, and Anaconda. He has a sound knowledge of data collection, text mining, forecasting, data visualization, linear regression models, and artificial intelligence-based model with IoT. So I would like to request Kumar sir to please carry on the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the nice introduction. And myself, Ritesh Kumar, and I'm a technical head in Ducat, India, which is located in Noida. And here I'm going to present you about IoT, right? So IoT descriptions, there are lots of things. Can I share my screen? Can I share my screen?
Yes, sir. Shireen ma'am, you stop presenting.
Yes, sir. Please share.
Okay. Fine. So I think this is visible to you all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we are going to start the introduction of Internet of Things first. So what is the plan of presentation for today is Internet of Things, IoT, and what is the current status and future prospects of IoT and knowledge management, the future of IoT and the potentials, applications, challenges, and criticisms. Start with the IoT. What is it? The Internet of Things is a network of physical objects or things. You can say any physical object, which is we call things basically, and not only physical that you can touch only, that that is not touchable, that cannot be seen is also a physical object in this environment, and which is embedded with electronics. We need to first embed those things with the electronics circuits so that electronic circuits collect the data, right? And software sensors and network activity which enable these objects to collect and exchange data. So the thing is, when we start with the IoT, where these concepts come from, actually this concept is basically started from 1990s around, where we had something like we have some like say some physical objects we do have, right? Like I have a phone, I have a bottle, I have something, whatever. Can I can have temperature, I can have humidity, I can have anything which is a physical thing in this environment. What I need to do is to take those data in our computers, right? So that it can be shareable to anyone else also, right? I want to share with you that what is the temperature of in my room right now. So I just need to take the data from my sensors and I need to share to you with some connectivity, right? And that connectivity could be anything. It could be a physical connectivity also. It could be a in wireless connectivity also, right? So there are a lot of things we can do with the embedded system in IoT. So for that we need electronic circuits, for that we need softwares, for that we need sensors, and for that we need network connectivity, which enable these objects to collect the data and exchange the data from one computers to the another computers, one system to the another system, right? And there are a lot of things into it. Not this is only the brief of IoT, right? But in between, we do lots of processes into it. IoT allows objects to sense and control remotely across existing network infrastructure, creating opportunity for the direct integration between the physical worlds and the computer-based systems and resulting in improved efficiency. So IoT is a object to be sensed, any object which can be sensed and controllable remotely. Means we can control it also. Like I have some appliances in our home, and I have some appliances in our offices, right? I just want to control from outside the office or outside the home. So what we can do, we can apply IoT. That is very easily handled by this IoT IoT projects and IoT concepts, and it can be integrated with lots of things like softwares and all, and network connectivity can be integrated to each other, right? And what it can do, it can improve efficiency, right? We does not have to be present where we have control and where we have to do things to be analyzed, right? So we need to implant some kind of electronic devices wherever we want, but we can control it outside from there. If we are not present over there, it's okay, we can do it, right? And it can improve accuracy and it can improve the economic benefits also. Okay. So things in IoT. What is things? Basically, there are two words are there in IoT, which is internet and things, right? So first we are going to start with the things. Things in the IoT sense can refer to a wide variety of devices such as heart monitoring implants, biochips, transponders, or farm animals, electric lamps, and coastals and waters, automobiles with built-in sensors. Right? Means a device is must implanted over there, right? So any electronic device could be there, and has that has to be connected with some sensors. Whatever kind of data we need from that environment, from that physical activities, what kind of data we want to take is depends upon the sensors, right? That is inbuilt sensor with that electronic devices, and we can analyze, we can monitor those data from that sensors. We can take out the data from that sensors, we can analyze them, we can uh, take the data and analyze them, and take the data to the servers also, to the cloud also, right? And these devices collect useful data with the help of various existing technologies and then autonomously flow the data in between other devices also, right? This is sharing of data. Where this concept came from. So the concept of Internet of Things first came in 1999 through the Auto ID centered at MIT and related market analysis publication. Radio frequency identification, that you have already known about it. Radio frequency identification, which is in short, it is called RFID, was seen as a prerequisite for the IoT at that point. So what happens at the earlier stage, uh, when we as a human, there was a need of being an identifications of any person, right? So in the form of identification, what did we have? We had a simple thing that I know you, then I can recognize you. You have only or I have only identification that I am in front of you and I know you. That is only the identification technique was there, right? And I have seen somewhere in the market, or I have met you. I have something means I have seen you in the TV. That is what the identification technique was there in the earlier stage when there was no technical things were there, right? So there is only the identification, means that there is a physical identification. I need some money to you, that how I can request to you that if I know you, then I can give a request to you that I need some money from your side, right? And if you know me, you can give me, otherwise you will not take any interest, right? So something which is very uh, you know in a local things, means the identification is very limited in over that things, right? So what we'll have to do, what we had to do, we need to take it globally. And how do we take it as a step? We have taken as a step that we have generated an RFID, radio frequency identification. And that identification is nothing, it's a kind of card, it's a kind of anything which can generate identification. If something if like I have a card which has RFID, which is identification of radio frequencies, that if I have some card of that kind, means I am the same person that you wanted, right? So the thing, the card generated an identifications, right? So if I have gone somewhere and I have that kind of card, and that card is have some information that I am presented over there, right? So the thing is that card makes very identification makes very easier, that if somebody doesn't know me, even if they can recognize me with the help of that card only, right? So like I have an ATM card. So that ATM card can recognize ourselves with the help of that chip, or whatever the information, whichever is written in that card, right? So ATM doesn't know me, wherever whether I am that person or not, but that card is an identification that I'm the same person, right? So the RFID makes life easier with in the form of identification, right? And anybody who doesn't know me physically can identify me very easily with that help of that card, right? uh, okay. So if all the objects, and there are lots of cards, there are lots of identification has been generated with the different persons, that at the earlier stage when this technologies came. And then next, what was that? There is a physical things you need to carry for your identification. Right now, we also have different cards for the identification, like our UID, means Aadhaar card. We have PAN cards. What these all are the identifications, right? If somebody doesn't know me, they can identify me with the help of that card only, right? But that card or that RFID is somehow it's a very good thing, but you have to carry those things with you, right? There is nothing more. In the earlier stage, I'm talking about in the earlier stage, what happened, that card need to carry with you, right? If you don't have that card, that is there is no any identifications with, right? But the thing is, we need to move forward from that, right? How do we move forward it? We have moved forward it with the help of different things like internet connectivity and all, right? And in that, we have, first of all, in RFID there are lots of things been is been identified, like for the bar with the help of barcodes, with the help of QR codes, with the help of Bluetooth, and with the help of digital watermarking, and lots of things, right? I have given you some kind of a card example, and there are lots of things which could be identified, like some product is there, and its product has some uh, uh, barcodes are there. If somebody has to identify that product, they need to scan the barcode or QR code you already use with the payment processes in these days, right? Bluetooth and lots of things, right? Now, the IoT works with result of single novel technologies. Instead, several complementary technical development provides capability that taken together help to bridge the gap between the virtual and physical worlds. Virtual means your uh, system, right? It's virtual, means actually the working is there, but it's not what we do, right? In the physical, let's say I am working, I am driving a car, that is a physical process. But what is the virtual process? The virtual process when we play a game, when we play a game, it's a virtual process because we doesn't actually physical driving the car, but we are virtually doing this, right? So in the what is the gap in physical and virtual is that we have more and more things in virtual could be generated, but in physical it could not be more things generated, but we have lots of information into it, and that information has to be taken and to be converted into the virtual world, right? So now this is the era where we are living in a virtual world, right? We are lots of things in the virtual thing, like I need to talk to you, but I'll not physically talk to you. I'll write a message to you and then I can talk to you very easily. That is a virtual thing, right? I'm not actually talking to you, but it was not in the earlier stage because whenever we need to talk, we have some options that we had a phone, we had only the we had only simple physical to physical chat, right? There is nothing like we had to messages from one side to another side. We have only one thing was there, that is a letter we can post, right? But that is not a chatting kind of thing. So we are, that is not a real time chatting. That was like I have written a letter to you and it is been delivered to you after 10 days or 5 days or something, and you have replied it back again, it will be taken 15 days, right? So that is not basically a chatting, that is not a real time chatting. If I need to say in a singles, I have connected to you with the help of WhatsApp and lots of things we have in this time, right? So that is the gapping. We have merged it together, virtual and physical worlds, and the capabilities that is included is communication and corporations, right? And addressability, identification, sensing, actuations, embedded information processing, localizations, and user interfaces. These are the capabilities that is included with the IoT, right? So communication is very must because we are doing this because of communication, right? So we need to communicate to you with some real world data. So that's why we are working with the IoT. Addressability is for the devices, one devices to different devices, for second devices to another devices. There are lots of devices which have been connected to each other, right? Because of addresses. Then identifications. So each computers, each data, each things has to be identified with something, right? Sensing, obviously that identification needs some sensing elements. Actuation is kind of a thing which can be moved, right? Like motors, right? Sometimes I have some locations, I need a thing which can be moved by this locations, right? And by itself, not only we see that in a in an environment, in a right now we have facing that kind of environment which is based on AI, right? Artificial intelligence, that we have seen that some of the companies have made driverless cars and all, right? So they are working, they are the devices are moving because of data, right? So that the driving is actually not uh, done by the drivers and all. That is a driverless car because of IoT only. They are taking the data, they are actually sensing the things, they are sensing the environment, and then drive it because they have lots of things, they have intelligence into it, and they are working on it. Right? That is a kind of actuations. Actuations means where we need some actuators which can be moved. Embedded information processing, right? There is an embedded because of microcontrollers and all. We are doing this localizations, right? And user interfaces that we need to connect with the users, right? So there are lots of capabilities that is included with this IoT works with different technologies, like it started from RFID, right? To we came to the sensors, we came to the smart tech and the nanotech, right? Because the chip level things are very shortened nowadays. We have a technology that can generate our devices in a very small format, right? uh, we have already faced some day where computer has a very large, scaled. Now the scaling has been shorter, right? And it's a kind of very shortest thing nowadays. We have a computer in a single chip only, right? And that chip is very small, right? It can collect data, it can do lots of processing into it, right? Because of technology's enhancement, right? The structure of IoT. The structure of IoT is, first of all, we have to tagging things. Means what kind of things where from where we need to take the data, what kind of things is that? Is basically we need to tag them, right? So tagging is basically is giving some labels to the things, right? By sensors or by anything. I have a computer, so computer can do that things very well because we have a programming stamina and all, right? Because of programming, we can tag each and everything with some name or some labels, right? So real time item traceability and addressability by RFID, we need to tag something, right? Filling things, and we can tag things with the real world and physical objects. But what if we don't have any physical objects, like lights? Light is not a physical object. We cannot touch them. We can only feel them, right? Only we can see them also, we can feel them also, some of the humidity, some temperatures, some force, some pressures and all. These are only the things which cannot be actually seen or something. We can it is not a physical thing that we can touch, right? That thing can be sensed only, right? And shrinking things and nanotechnologies has provoked the ability to smaller things to interact and connect within the things or smarter devices, right? And thinking things. So there are lots of things are here: tagging things, filling things, shrinking things, and thinking things. Means a device which can think, right? And that is intelligent enough as a human, right? Which can think. Right. So how do we do this? Because of IoTs, AI, machine learning, right, data science and all. These all technologies have been came together for making a machine a very intelligent way, where we have a different real-time informations also, where do have a technique that is about to collect the data, right? Technologies which needs to be that predicts actually the for the next day or the next data, right? And intelligent things, that how do we decide something in an intelligent way, right? So these all technologies come together to make an IoT, right? So it is AI is nothing. AI is a part of an IoT only, right? Current status and future prospects of IoT. So in the world population, when it was 2003, it was 6.3 billion, right? And the connected device were 500 million. Means the devices we have connected to each other was there. Let's say I do have a system, and the another device has another person has also some devices, and they were all connected with some internet, and that was over 500 million, right? But in 2010, it was there was the you know uh, if the population we take, that population has been doubled, but the connected devices had been much more time in the previous uh, years, like 2003 and 2010. You can see that the population is 3.8 billion to 6.8 billion, but the connected device, it was not double it only. It was not double, but the connected device has been multiplied with a very 10 or 20 times, right? And if we come to the 2015, then it was around 25 billion devices, right? It has been connected. And 2020, it was 7.6 billion person was there, but the uh, devices connected was 50 billions. And if we multiply now 2023, 2025, and 2030, it has been doubled and tripled, right? Means I do have, if the people who's there, you can see that one single person has a 7 to 8 devices to connect. A single person holds 7 devices to connect, right? And could be more also, right? It's an average thing that I have 7 devices. I have 7 devices to connect, and that information is collected in the 7 devices also, right? And there are lots of data into it, which has been collected and been shared. IoT as a network of networks. IoT, we doesn't collect the data like I do have only the data which is around me. No, I have lots of data which is not around me, which is coming from the other states, other countries, right? And the other perspectives also, right? That doesn't mean I have, right? I have a food, right? I need to take uh, I need to give some order for the food, right? So that is not only that I am only involved with that food, that what kind of food I need, right? There are lots of technologies are there. There are industries we are making, which are making foods. there are there are lots of industries which are manufacturing that thing. There are travel industries are involved, right? There are internet, there are ITs involved, there are programming are involved, there are lots of things are involved with. There are educations are involved, right? And environments are involved. So lots of things is connected to each other, right? And because of this, we have all of the data, right? Let's say I have made the food. Sorry, I need to order the food, right? And somebody has to come to me, and they delivered food, right? But the thing is, if they have some information about the environment, that in in next hour, in next 1 hour, there'll be a heavy rain in our area, so they'll deny to deliver the food because of the environmental conditions, right? And this is how we we have utilized the technologies, right? So technologies given the first, give you the first prior information that there will be a delay, or there will be a denial of that food, that it will not be delivered, or it will be delivered with some delays, right? And it is applied with a lots of things, not only the food. That can be applied with the travel industries also. Let's say you have a flight to catch, and that is uh, but the problem is the environmental issues are there, right? And or some technical errors are there. That is a prior information you have been given, right? So that take you a very lots of things which can be recovered with it. Your financial things could be saved, right? Your efficiency could be saved. Means lots of things can be saved with it, right? So now area, we were working on we have already came from a non-technological background to the technological background, right? And to the high level, advanced level of technologies now a time, right? So when no technologies, there were not lots of technologies, there was very a drawback of misusing the things, right? So now a time what we are doing, we are utilizing our things with these technologies, right? Why we are advancing our technologies? Because of we want to utilizing the things, we are utilizing our time, we are utilizing our money, we are utilizing of resources and all. So that is the basically concern with the utilizing things, right? So we have wasted lots of things, we have wasted lots of money, we have wasted lots of resources, right? But now a time we are the advancement of technologies are concerned with the utilizing, right? So these are the things like education, home, earth, others, business, energy, transports. These all are connected, right? For the security, analytics, and management capabilities. Because of these networks, if we are connecting all these things, we need a security, we need some analysis, we need some management capabilities. If we are not doing this, means we are lagging something, right? And this is the triangle of data to wisdom, right? So wisdom is like obviously utilizing. If you are utilizing, we have decision making things, are very great decision making uh, sense, then it is called wisdom, right? And the wisdom came from the base point is data, what kind of data we do have and what kind of information we have from that data, right? And data is only the symbols or some values, nothing else. Data is not the information actually. Data is only the collection of values, right? And the information is a key point that we need to take from that data. Answers to who, what, where, when, and questions, right? And the knowledge is to answer how this been happened, and then we take the understanding from that knowledge, and then the wisdom come with this understanding, right? And here we take the decisions with the intelligent way, and this wisdom is AI, and this wisdom is intelligence, right? Okay, so this is the triangle of from data to wisdom. So the important thing, we should have data, right? That is the base point. If the data is there, then we can put that thing to the and we can go to the wisdom, right? To the intelligence. What happens when 50 billion machines become connected? So each and everything in our cities, in our country, in all the countries, right, around the world, all of these things will be connected to the internet, right? And lots of data generates lots of devices generates lots of data, and we need to manage all the data. And with those data, we have to put it to the different technologies, and they could be connected to each other, right? The potential of IoT. So it's not only the technology, it's also the you know financially helps the people, and it's
हाँ
a industries of yes.
ठीक है बंद करा थे आउट हो रहे
Okay, somebody has opened their mic. Okay, fine. So there are some industries which have a great uh, financial status with the help of IoT, which is commercial. If we go for the aviation, and aviation's savings, they are saving by the IoT 1% fuel saving, right, which is $30 billion, right? If we apply the IoT to the aviations, they can save 1% fuel efficiency, and they can increase their efficiency, and they can save their fuel, right? And if we go to the power, which is to be connected with the IoT, then 1% fuel saving is also there, and there is $66 billion can be saved, right? And these are different industries where the power, where the money can be saved with the help of IoT, right? So unlock the massive potentials of IoT, improve performance, reduce cost, creative, innovative services, new revenue streams. Technology roadmap of IoT started from 2000, which is started from RFID, which we have already uh, studied, we have already gone through, and surveillance, security, healthcare, transport, food safety, document management, right? And then locating people and everyday object, teleoperations and telepresence, ability to monitor and control distant objects and all, right? So starting from RFID to uh, taking identifications of anything, started from a single objects to the each and every objects now a time, right? And there is a very uh, vast role of softwares and hardwares, right? And a different technologies, database management systems, right? Big data and all. Few applications of IoT, starting from building and home automations, right? And from starting from building and home automation, we have we are making buildings with the IoT, which can be which can collect the data, and which can share data to the central point, where which can be controlled or analyzed from that central point. And home automation, any home can be automated with the help of IoT. Building and home both can be automated. Manufacturing, we apply IoT for any mishappenings and all can be tracked with the manufacturing in the manufacturing, industries. Medical and healthcare systems also we apply it very easily. You can see that now there are lots of examples where medical and healthcare are using this type of technologies. Media, environmental monitoring, infrastructure, energy management, transportation, and better quality life for elderly. Right. So some application like home consumer, if if uh, if we go for the home automation, light bulbs, security, pet feeding, irrigation controller, smoke alarm, refrigerator, infotainment system, washer, stove, and energy monitoring. These all are can be connected with the IoT, and these all data can be collected together, right? In transport, mobility, transport, traffic routing, telemetrics, package monitoring, smart parking, insurance adjustment, supply chain, shipping, public transport, airlines, and trains, right? Health, body, patient's care, right? Elderly monitoring, remote diagnostics, equipment monitoring, hospitals, hygienes, biovariables, and food sensors, right? Building infrastructure, HVAC, security, lighting, electrical, transit, structural integrity, occupancy, and energy credits. City industries, electrical distribution, maintenance, surveillance, right? Signage, and utilities, smart grid, emergency services, waste management. These all are the examples of IoT. Right? So the base thing we have already discussed that what we can do with the IoTs, right? Where uh, we have already discussed about the IoT and what IoT can do and where it came from, right? So, but the process to doing this IoT will be covering in the next session, right? How we are doing this and what kind of things which is required for this, right? So examples are also smart parking system, right? You can see that there is a picture of smart parking where a very small area is there, and that small area covered lots of cars, right? There are 4 cars is there in a very small area, right? And that can be done, and the space has been utilized, right? Because nowadays there is a lot of problem of spaces. If you come to the Delhi, if you come to the Mumbai, right, and the very, where there is a populations are very huge, there is a problem of spaces also, right? And that space is to also be also should be utilized, right? And that we can do with the IoT because we have informations, right? And that information could be uh, generated, can be utilized with the different applications, right? Here we are showing some waste management system, right? Where we have uh, some cities, right? And cities has a a waste collector where garbage collectors are there, right? And that can be integrated with some sensors, right? So that if that boxes has been full and it the information is been generated that this garbage bags or this garbage containers are full, now it has to be shifted to the another place. So somebody has some information that is has to be shifted automatically. There is no notification and there is nothing. You'll have to do it daily, right? On the daily basis. And what happens in the now time, uh, daily somebody has come to your house or come to your places to collect the garbages, even if there is the garbage or not, it doesn't mean, but somebody will come each and every day. There is a problem of transportations also, there is a fuel wastage also, right? So sensors can make it very efficient that if the garbage is not full, the containers are not full, you don't have to come. If that is full, then it'll sense and give it to the information to the people who is appropriate for it, and then it will be collected, right? So that is basically collected information from one side to another side, and it is being generated from your cities to industries, right? So how this garbages will be utilized and all can be started from here, from your home to the city, to the garbage containers, to the garbage truck, to the industries also, for the recycling plants also. है ना? So that without wasting anything, without wasting any time, without wasting any fuel, that can be done. Right? Sensors in even the holy cow. Cow can also have some, if some kind of a pet which cannot talk to you, which cannot tell the problems with you, it cannot share the problems with you. So what you can do, you can put some sensors into it, which will take the data of their body sensing, temperature sensing, the health problems and all, and it generated a data and it can sense the data. It can take the informations from that sensors and it can be shares to you whether what you'll have to do in the next, right? So that also we can apply. Somebody has left their mic open. Can you please close it? IoT application scenario with the shopping, right? So when shopping in the market, the goods were introduced themselves. They'll they'll tell you that what I am, what is the benefits of ourselves, right? No, any other people will be there to introduce the product, right? That is kind of era will be facing in the next future. It is not been yet generated or been introduced, but in the next some of the years will be facing that kind of a market where a product will tell itself that what is it and what the benefits of it, right? When entering the door, scanner will identify the tags on somebody's cloth or somebody's bag, right? When paying the goods, the microchip of the credit card will communicate with checkout reader, and when moving to the goods, the reader will tell the staff to put a new one, right? So it can be automated very easy way, right? You'll be very ease when going to the market and shopping the products. Nowadays we have also this kind of thing that there will be a sleep tracker, right? How much time you'll have to sleep, right? How much you'll have to eat, how much calories you have gained, how much steps you have been walked, and lots of things is been tracked with the tracker band, with the smart watches and all, right? So that has been analyzed. That is, the data you are doing all these days has been tracked and analyzed with you, right? And it can give you the right decision with you. What is right for you? Do you need to sleep uh, 5 hours, 6 hours, or 10 hours, and what? Right? It can take you the decisions also, right? I want to know about more my myself so I can use these things. Right? Where are you going? Where you interacted with? How you will be going? Right? How long you have been spoken to your friends? Means I have not in contact with my friends since 2 or 3 months. Right? I have been talked in since uh, I have been talked with 3 months ago. Right? So we need to talk or not, that that can be decided by these devices and trackers. And the affinity of connections, how long it take to get to the work, the tone of your messages, the amount you text, tweet or upgrade, how much exercise you're getting, how much you get distracted and all, right? Thought control computing, that is also a technologies, right, with IoT, that can be taken. The flagship product, Mindwave, is a headset that can log in your computer using just your thoughts. And researcher recently used EEG headset to develop a toy car that can be driven forwards with your thought. Right? NeuroSky's smart sensors can also track your heart rate and other body's matrices and can be embedded in the next generation and wearable devices. Right? Why the IoT need AI to succeed? Because AI is an intelligence, it's a wisdom, right? So from data to wisdom, we need wisdom is important, obviously, because uh, wisdom is basically ability to understand and ability to take the decision intelligently, right? So that's why we need AI, right? And there is a 5 steps to follow all this in IoT. It sense, transmit, store, analyze, and act. These are the 5 steps. IoT take AI to the action, right? AI is something which is an intelligent making system, right? And which came from data. Though obviously the data is coming from any real world, physical world, right? And that if the data should be real world, then it has to be taken to the IoT and taken from the IoT and IoT to the AI, right? Technological challenges of IoT, that scalability, right? How much how much we can scale it to the levels, right? Technological standardizations, right? Because we have some kind of things which could be of different applications where need some standardizations. Interoperability and discoveries, software complexities, data volumes and interpretations, power supply, interaction and short range communications, wireless communication, fault tolerance. Right? These are the challenges basically will be facing when we apply the IoT in the large scale. Right? So all the technologies are there. Like if we need to if we are facing some kind of data volumes and interpretation, means the data volume is very large. We have lots of data to manage, right? So if we have lots of data to manage, so that could be managed with the help of big data systems. Big data is nothing. It's a kind of uh, a way to manage the large data, and not only the large data but unstructured data also, right? So if you know about the SQL and all, right, structured query language, so you can see that database management system is very structured. They can they actually manage their data with the help of rows and columns, right? But in the big data, if we do not have the structured data, how do we manage them? We'll be managing with the help of big data. So big data is a kind of technologies which can apply with the large amount of data and which is unstructured, right? And that can be used with the NoSQL. There is a technology which is called NoSQL, or the engine name is MongoDB, right? Criticism and controversies of IoT. So there is a problem with, if you're doing lots of things, means there is a lacking. It could be a lacking of privacy or security, right? And autonomy and control, right? Social controls, political manipulations, designs, environmental impact influences human moral decision making. Right? So nowadays we have we have studied about IoT like this. But the iceberg is inside it. Like there is a lodge of iceberg, right? So this is a knowledge of IoT, but we are doing on this point. Right? Okay, so this is the introduction of IoT, right? And here we can move forward. If you have any problems, if you have any queries in this introductions, so you can ask me. And in the next session, we'll be covering the next part of our, our workshop. Yes. Anything else to add here? Yes, yes.
Yeah, hello sir. Thanks for the nice talk. I have a query.
Yes.
How IoT can affect the environment? Can you clarify the point?
Sorry.
Uh, how IoT can affect the environment?
Environment, basically, uh, when you go to the waste management, right? So waste management can be done very easily with the help of IoT, because there is nothing that you have to uh, you have to go for somebody and you have to message them or you have to call them, right? It is done very automatically, very quickly, right? In a day, if there is 2 time or 3 time required for the collecting wastage from your home, so it can be done also. No regular things should be required. If there is lots of wastage in your home, in your cities, that can be taken 2 or 3 times also. It depends. Right, environment can be clean, it can be utilized. There are lots of way to utilizing them, all the wastages that came from our home, from our industries, right? And that can be done with the IoTs also, because we have information, we have a centralized informations, right? With the help of IoT, we have a centralized information where we are required, where we are, where it is generating and where it is required, right? There are, we our home is connected with the information of industries also, or industries is connected with the home also, right? So if the waste is coming from your home, so it can be directly go to the your industries, which can utilize those wastage, right? So you don't need to, nowadays we are not connected with the industries, we are only connected with our, let's say, where we have a society. That is what connectivity is done. But that connection could be, if the connection is centralized, if the information is centralized, it can be taken from one side to the another side also, right? And it is automated system, you don't have to put any effort into it, right? That is only automated, and the system which has been implanted over there will be that kind of devices will be that so much intelligent that it will generate a data from one side to another side. And it has also a tracking systems, right? And that is a very intelligent tracking system, where the data has been generated, where it has to it has to be collected and where it has to be put it down, right? So that is effortless thing that only the devices, all the intelligent devices is working over there, right? So environmental issues are because of wastage. We have wastage of things, right? Like we have, let's say you have a phone, right? But that phone, you'll you'll use that phone around 4 or 5 years, right? If if we go for the large scale, there are lots of phones, there are lots of electronic items which is a waste item in that base, right? Each and every years, there is a launching of new phones are there, right? And if the launching of new phones, there are lots of people is going to buy those phones even if they have already 2 or 3 phones, right? And the phones and the electronic devices is been created, is been generated, but the previous phones that you do have is a wastage for you, and that creates lots of electronic wastage in our environment, right? And that can be utilized, right? Because of information, we don't have information. The thing is, we don't have information. How do we utilize it? That is somebody has information but somebody doesn't have data, right? I have information, let's say, so I doesn't have data. Somebody have data but they don't have information, so they can be connected together and they can share their needs to each other, and that is how we utilize all these things, right?
Is there anyone who want to ask question?
Yeah, artificial intelligence of things, uh, like I have already given you, like driverless cars are the artificial intelligence IoT, because there are sensors and that sensors is basically taken the driving capability of that machines, right? And that is coming from intelligence, that is the decision making system. The the drivers, let's say I'm driving a car, what I'm doing actually, so I'm taking a decisions, right? Yes, not today, the practical sessions will be not today, it will be I think going tomorrow. Okay, so we'll be meeting to the next session, I think 1 hour later.
Thank you, sir, for upgrading our knowledge about IoT in this keynote session. We are going to start our first session on fog computing, smart cities, and smart home by Mr. Ritesh Kumar sir himself at 12:45 p.m. sharp. So now we are having lunch break from 12 to 12:45 p.m. So I request all the participants to be present on time. Thank you and enjoy your lunch.
Madam, feedback form is not activated. So kindly activate the feedback form. Madam.
Vishali ma'am. Vishali ma'am, are you there in meet?